He does not know who is assignment. So are you solving the numericals from the books? Huh? Yes or no? Are you solving the numericals from the books? Are you facing any difficulties? Huh? Yeah. Any questions?
So that one question will be closing related to efficiencies, topic efficiency. I have one doubt.
You have to submit. Yeah. After that, I will.
But sir, afterwards it's exam.
Yeah. So by 11th you can meet me after submitting.
But sir, on 11 we do not have class.
Yeah, you can meet me in my office. So anybody has any problems, so you can first submit the tutorials or assignments, then you can meet me. Or any doubts, you can meet me. Means except tutorials or assignments, you can meet me any day in my office.
Not related to this, but I have to ask. That do we consider this like for the if consider we are considering an guys. So that energy of that remains is considered like will it go to the next cycle? Like will it be consumed by the carnival?
So food chain means first of all we are saying one is the source, plant, right?
Yes.
We are saying suppose detritus or grazing. So that is the source, right? So that is the 100%. Right? Someone eats, so obviously the energy will be transferred to 10%. So what happens to the rest 9%? Respiration, yes, mostly we can say respiration and cost. Right? So what is the net output energy for these herbivores? Only 10%. So now for this case it will be considered as 100%. Again someone eats, suppose herbivores, it will be considered as 1%. And the reference is our this. Right? But for this it would be 100%. And what is the net output for carnivores? This much. This is 1% of this, but someone else it will be 100% for the next food. Okay? This is the thing.
No, I'm asking that if 9% is supposedly 9% is lost in escalation. So in that 9%, do we consider if X amount of the population dies, so that remains is consumed by the carnivore?
So that is a separate thing. We are saying the available. When I was calculating the trophic efficiency, we are told the net available energy for it. Okay, suppose for here only available energy is this much. So if someone in different source it eats, so that will be 100% for it. So what is the net output? So suppose you ate 5 sources, right? So from 5 sources you took only 10%. So whatever you ingest, that is the 100% for you. Yeah, any other questions? Anushka? No? Deepika? Sadran? Okay, so I hope all of you are solving the numericals from the books. So in minor, it would be 40 marks, 2 hours examination, okay, and 30% would be short questions, or short question means you can say 1 line or 2 lines, right? And rest 70% would be okay. So any doubts? So you can meet me before exam in my office. Okay. So till now, what we learned? Hamlet? Any doubts?
Sir, not at the moment. Sir, that is your timing, so we can maybe
Usually, whenever I will be in my office, except some classes. I am in my office, but don't go by lunch time. Yes. So what we learned about ecology part? So mostly we can say that in the trophic efficiency, then in the last class the nutrient cycles, then population dynamics, so all these things, right?
So syllabus plays the population dynamics only for the minors.
All.
Till population dynamics.
Till today.
Till today.
So the exam is on 12th, so will we have some rest before the exam? Some holiday before the exam.
You need some holiday?
What classes?
Tomorrow.
Holiday, yeah.
Free.
From class
Class.
Will you utilize that time?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes,
How?
Sir,
By shorting very
Huh? Till now I does not utilize. Huh? Okay, let's think. Huh? Okay. So, basically till now we learned about the biological energy, right? Also, even for biological energy, we are extracting it from the environment. Even if when we are extracting the biological energy from our environment, so there are some impacts on the adverse impacts, right, on the environment. So whether it is derived energy or it's biological energy, in all cases we are harming our atmosphere, right? basically we are saying that it may be biological or derived energy. Mainly there are two intrinsic properties of an energy source. So that is concentration and quality. So what is concentration? So we can say basically energy per unit volume or per unit mass, right? So if high concentration, it is good, right? And what do you mean by quality? Quality of an energy source?
Low emission.
One second.
So low emission, the emission should be really low and the efficiency should be high from the source, like what we are burning and what we are getting.
Begun.
Useful part of that energy.
Because everything, whatever you are extracting, everything you have to use that energy. So one is energy, another is waste product. We are not talking about the waste product. We are talking about only the byproduct. How can you define quality of an energy source?
Exergy.
Yes, Nandan?
By using exergy concept.
Tell me, what is exergy concept?
Like the useful work which is available, which we can extract and we.
So everybody know exergy? Yes or no? Yeah. So Pranjal, you should tell exactly what is exergy.
Like the work which means like the useful work. Okay.
You know energy, right? Then what is exergy? क्या नाम आपका? हाँ. सारा. सानिध. हाँ, सानिध. सौरभ. ससुर. रघुनाथ. Exergy.
The part of energy which can be utilized in doing work, not utilizing entropy.
So there is a very fine difference between energy and exergy. Okay, you read it. It will come in exam. Huh?
Sir, is it the maximum amount of work done by the system when it goes to the dead state?
It is also called as available energy.
Availability, yes.
Suppose we have X amount of heat,
Only for availability.
electricity or other sources.
Only for availability.
Right, likely we are dealing with the ideal.
That's it. Okay, you read yourself.
Exergy.
Exergy and energy. Then quality means basically we are saying that efficiency, right? Suppose, so what is the fuel efficiency of a petrol car engine?
Around 20%.
That is also high side, right? So okay, so at present we are saying 20%. If the efficiency will increase up to 50%, what will happen? So obviously our consumption of coal would be less,
Reduce, yes.
right? Then obviously pollution to the pollutants emission to the atmosphere will be less. So in this way we can protect our environment. So if till now the petrol or diesel engines efficiency is very less, if we will increase, then maybe we cannot or we may not think so rapidly for the renewable energy sources. But still now people are working on this to increase the efficiency, right? So if we are extracting one energy source, not only energy source but for every cases, right? Always we should check what is the concentration and what is the quality of the source. right? Okay. So, okay. So can you give one example of a high concentration energy source? High concentration energy source. Wait, liquefied hydrogen. What is that?
The liquid hydrogen fuel. When hydrogen is liquefied at a very high pressure, low temperature.
What is the calorific value of that? But still not yet in the commercial form. Right? At present existing.
Nuclear fuels.
Nuclear fuels. So that is the high concentration as well as high quality. Right? At present, this is the highest one. So if in future nuclear fusion happens, so that is the top one. High concentration as well as the high quality. So do you know where the nuclear fusion is happening?
Sun.
Yes. In Earth, on Earth.
Another sun. There's like Yokohama and India also.
Tokamaks. But still now, the present tokamaks all over across the world, so they are not in the controlled manner. So in France, so there are 7 countries including India, so they are making a international thermonuclear experimental reactor, ITER. Okay, so by 2050, so they are planning to, basically the input would be 50 megawatt and output would be 500 megawatt. Okay, so if it succeeds, then no other renewable energy sources would be required. Okay, so that machine only itself can provide the world the whole energy. So you can see here, so as you said, nuclear energy has a high quality, high concentration as well as the high quality, right? And you can say the sun, it's very low concentration, right? So still you can increase the quality and concentration of these sources. And already you know that whenever you are extracting energy from the atmosphere, so if it's basically you are saying renewable and non-renewable. So non-renewable means once you are consuming, the replenishment would be very little or no, right? May not be replenished. But for the renewable energy sources, so you are consuming as well as you are replenishing, right? So once, in as I said, any cases, once you are extracting something from the environment, you are getting one byproduct as well as you are emitting some waste, right, to the environment. So we should minimize that waste emission. So we need clean and green energy. Green means now we are heading towards the hydrogen, right? Okay. So how can you define waste?
Something not useful or harmful.
Not useful
Or harmful.
or harmful.
Like nuclear
Not harmful.
that is also very useful.
Not useful. Okay. Harmful or it's harmless. Even if it's a waste, when we call it
Can be harmful.
It can be both harmful.
harmful, okay. Even if it's not harmful, we can call it also waste.
Yes.
How?
Yes. Like biodegradable waste.
So waste means the residue of some process.
Okay.
that's not needed.
Suppose one meal you are eating, suppose 500 kilo, or in terms of mass, you can say 500 gram. Okay. So that is sufficient for you for a meal. So in front of you now I put 1 kg of mass of food, but you ate only 500 gram. Then what will happen in the rest? So that is waste for you, right? So unnecessary things, or you can say abundant in nature, which is not used. So even if it's not, not harmful. So we can call it waste.
Sir, how abundant in nature?
Suppose CO2. CO2 is present in the atmosphere. It is not harmful, right? But due to human activities, CO2 concentration is increasing. Then how it is harming to our atmosphere? So obviously greenhouse gases, it increases the temperature of the surface. This is problem, right? So we can divide in three ways. So first is, it is present in the atmosphere, it is harmless, but due to human activities, it causes damages. Right? So just like example CO2, carbon dioxide. It is present in the, please listen very carefully. It is present in the atmosphere, it's a harmless, non-toxic gas, but due to human activities, it causes damage to our atmosphere or environment. Right? Then second one, it is not present in the atmosphere, but due to human activities, some toxic gases or toxic substances are generated. So that is causing damage to our environment. So just like pesticides. Okay, so pesticide is not present in the atmosphere. So we are just human beings are generating to them for agriculture,
Plastic waste.
anything. But toxic, I am saying, just pesticide one for agriculture or something.
So is it important for pollution to call it into be a toxic? Like plastic is?
Plastic is not toxic, but it will mix with some others then maybe. Okay. So this is one type. So we are saying type. So one type is, it is toxic, it is not present in the atmosphere, but due to human activities, it is generated. Okay. Then the third, it is harmless, not toxic, but also it is not present in the atmosphere due to human activities. It is damaging our environment. So just like chlorofluorocarbons, right? What is the generating source? Refrigerant or air conditioners. Huh? No? Yes or no? Huh? Then you should not use air conditioner. Huh?
But now sir, the emission of CFC is almost zero in the air conditioner.
No, not almost zero. The concentration is in the 0.0 ppm. So that is safe. If it is even if in the zero level, second decimal point it will be increased, then it will cause problem. Okay. So you are saying it is approximately zero. So that means your measuring devices are not accurate up to now. Okay. So it is in 0.0 something, second order decimal ppm. Right. So first is, there are three types. First is, I'm left.
Those which are present in the atmosphere, and then due to human activity, we increase the concentration.
So these are the non-toxic, harmless. Second,
And those that are present, that are present, and then due to
not present in the atmosphere. One is toxic, another is non-toxic. So due to human activities, so they are causing problems. Right? So one is present, harmless, present in the atmosphere, but due to human activities, the concentration increases and causes problem. Another is not present in the atmosphere. One is toxic, another is non-toxic, and both are generating due to human activities. And when concentration is very high, it causes problems. Understood? So there are several pollutions. So what is eutrophication?
Any water body amount of phosphorus and nitrogen compound overflooded.
So basically we can say in any water bodies, if the number of nutrients, you can say the concentration of nutrients are much more. So mostly in the nutrients you can say nitrogen and phosphorus, but apart from those any nutrients can be present here, right? So when we are saying excess nutrients are present in the water body, so the what will happen? Then obviously some water plants will be generated. So that will degrade the
Oxygen level.
dissolved oxygen of that water. Okay? So that will cause problem for the water organisms. So that is the eutrophication. So basically eutrophication means degrading the dissolved oxygen of a water body. So after some time that water can be used for the use any purpose. Right? So have you seen some lakes where you are dumping waste?
Yes, sir. There are
Anna?
lot of LEDs.
Yes. So definitely you can use that water for any purpose. Then biological oxygen demand. What is biological oxygen demand? So basically for a usable water per 5 day 5 milligram per liter BOD should be there. Right? Basically minimum 5 milligram per liter per 5 day, that is the minimum one for a usable water. So in general it should be 5 to 15 milligram per liter per 5 days. So why we are saying 5 days? Why I have taken average for 5 days? Yes.
For longer period of stability.
So mostly in the waters, what the nutrients are? Mostly you are saying?
5 days is like a life cycle of some
Life cycle of?
algae or some.
No. Nutrients I am saying. Na? Suppose of a dead body. So mostly carbon and nitrogen. So basically carbon will be degraded in 5 days. That's why we have taken 5 days average. Understood? This is the 5 milligram per liter per 5 days. This should be the minimum. If BOD is less than this, that water can't be used. Right? For normal water, BOD is 5 to 15 milligram per liter. Then biological index, this is a measurement for the pollution. Then heavy metal toxicity. What are the heavy metals we have come across? Lead, mercury, zinc. Yeah. Okay, so these things are basically hazardous, or even if someone may be radioactive, right? So I think 10 years before in Delhi University, one junkyard, the workers were working. This last 1 month he was working. So now he possesses some disease. So whenever he went to hospital, he found out some radioactivity are there on his food. Then they found out that some hazardous, basically radioactive machine was dumped there. So you can't dump anywhere these radioactive machines, right? Okay. So now suppose some toys are coming from China, right? Very cheap toys. So whenever something or some stuffs are coming importing from any countries, so there are some labs. First they will check the quality. Then if it's okay according to the Indian government norms, then they will allow. But nowadays nobody is checking. This is my perception. Okay. So if you will check these Chinese toys, so definitely you can find out some heavy metals. Yes. So which is not, or you can say bad for your kids, right? So first you have to check. If it passes the quality control, then it should be entered to the Indian side. Then the alkaline waste. So can Can you give one example of alkaline waste? Soap is acidic or alkaline? Yes or no?
Soda.
Alkaline or acid? Or base means alkaline.
Yes.
Not acid.
Huh? So there is a drain inside just near to your ladies hostel, Kailas. Huh? So have you smell that water? Even if you are just passing by that drain, how it smells? So it's very bad, na? Stinky smells. So that is a highly alkaline. Highly alkaline. This drain waters. The most alkaline is the floor cleaners you are using in your house. It is around 40, which is very high. So if you are using, that will cause health hazards also. So try to minimize that. Okay? And do you know what is the highest acidic of that substance? Huh? Aquarium? Just one example I am saying. Around our so lemon is acidic. So that is very less. Then your stomach acid. So that is around 1. And the highest one is the batteries you are using for energy storage. So that is 0. So even if you should not throw the batteries here and there. Right? So these are the things. And whenever some nuts and socks they are mixing with each other in presence of sunlight, then acid rains can happen. Acid rains, the pH of acid rain is around 5.6. So that is not so much dangerous.
So it should be less than 5.6 or more.
Which one?
In the southern.
Acid rain.
No, sir, biological.
It's more than 5.6. If it's more than 5.6, then it is at least safeguard. If it's less than 5.6, it will cause more damage. Right? So 0 means neutral. Sorry, 7. 7 means neutral. 6, then it goes towards acidic. 8, it goes towards base. Right? क्या नाम? What's your name? Huh? Saloni. Understood?
Yes, so but for acidic condition, the pH should be less than 7.
Yeah, so less than 7, and we are saying it should be between 5.6 to 7. Okay? So then somehow we can say that this will not cause much damage. This acidity. If it's less than 5.6, it is dangerous. Okay? So
Sir, in this biological oxygen demand, the amount of oxygen that should be dissolved in water should be greater than 5 mg per liter per day. 5. So,
so it's typical around. So this is less than 10. So it will be around 5.
it should be means it is a threshold. It should be.
It is threshold. 5 is the threshold. That's the minimum. Okay. So yeah, we can change this sentence. Okay. Yeah, someone is asking. Someone is asking something. So whenever have you seen in your lifetime acid rain?
Yes, sir. It is said to be like first rain of the season.
That is not acidic.
Basically acidic.
Sometimes what was the have you visited Greece?
Please no.
Huh? So there is a white colored mountain, means rocks you can say, or you can say even in the houses. So earlier, mainly due to this acid rain, so the color changes. And even if he is saying it's correct, if some percentage, if pH is slightly less, around 5.6 or 6, before the rain first, then it can be damaged. Means basically the white color will be changed to the something else. Right?
Like after first rain, the amount of nitrogen in NOx and sulfur in the atmosphere will be reduced because of the rain.
And also, have you visited Statue of Liberty? Have you seen in photo? In which material it was? Copper. Then what is the color of copper? So basically the France made this and gifted to US. Right. Earlier it was the copper color. So after some time, so due to this NOx reaction, it was changed to blue.
Yes, sir. Copper ions are basically
Okay. So then conversion. So basically wherever if you go to the rural areas, so wherever some waste are there, even if in the urban areas, wherever there are some waste, so they are simply combusting. Right? So if you are combusting anything, simply in presence of oxygen, more number of NOx, SOx, more concentration of NOx and SOx will be emitted. Right? So that will cause harm to our environment. So don't do combustion. Right? Either you should do pyrolysis or you should do oxidation, gasification. Right? So pyrolysis means absence of oxygen and gasification means control environment. But if you will go for the plasma pyrolysis, so 5% of stoichiometric ratio. So air can be provided. That can be called plasma pyrolysis. Basically, we can oxygen starved condition. So in normal pyrolysis, absence of oxygen, plasma pyrolysis means oxygen starved condition. So basically, we can say 5% of air stoichiometric ratio can be given. Beyond that, it will become gas. Then the pesticides. So nowadays in every packets you can see in the food packets. This is the organic. No pesticides were used. Right? So it is a marketing technique or I don't know. If it's good, then you should eat that. Then the CFCs and ozone layer, already you know about it. Then the radioactivities. So many people, many countries now they are reducing their nuclear plants. Right? So just I think 5 or 6 years before, Japan shut down 2 nuclear plants. Fukushima. Have you heard about it?
Yes, sir.
So after that, they shut down these 2 plants. So whenever you are doing some experiments, so first always you should take safety measurements. So these are very few pollutions or waste are there. Apart from these are the mainly broadly you can say the important things, important waste emissions. So beyond that, there are several minor things. So if these pollutions are happening, so basically our environment means soil, water, and air. Air, water, soil. At present you can say these 3 things, our atmosphere. So obviously these are contaminated. So toxic gases are emitted to the atmosphere, and if you are dumping some waste on the soil, right? Obviously soil will be polluted, and the groundwater also in the vicinity of that dumping yard will be contaminated, right? So all these 3 things, whenever you are supposed to, if you visited the Gazipur or also, so many times you can say the fires are there, right? So if your fire is the waste are catching fire, obviously this some toxic gases, CO or some other gases will be emitted. So in all cases, air, water, and soil are polluted. right? So have you visited West, you can say park in Kolkata? Huh? So earlier it was a dump of West, now the government just make it a garden. On that West they just planted the trees. So now it is open for.
Similarly, it is in Bhopal, near Bhopal also.
Yeah. Okay. So somewhere at present to decompose the waste in an eco-friendly manner, so that is a challenge. So if you see all the normal conventional gasification or pyrolysis plants, so all of the stuff, because even if they are decomposing the waste, but some dioxins and furans, so these are the toxic gases are emitted to the atmosphere. So normally these gases are generated at 250 to 400 degrees centigrade, right? So that's why these plants are not fruitful. But nowadays plasma pyrolysis plant, so they are generating at around more than 1000 degrees centigrade. So that's why no dioxin or furan gases are generated. So this is an eco-friendly technology. But the problem is high capital cost of the plasma pyrolysis and high maintenance, operation and maintenance cost also. So now people are doing research to the reducing these things. Yeah, any questions?
So how will you generally deal with radioactive waste?
Obviously, after suppose if you go to the Bhava Atomic Research Center, in there also some they are using some radioactive plutonium or radium in chemicals. So they should not store those things. So they have to store and how eco-friendly manner they have to decompose them.
How it's been done?
Huh?
How it's been done?
Any cases. So it basically from the energy point of view, they are using
Stored for a long period of time until it
at present, so they are just waiting for the half-life decay. Okay, but now they are searching for the best suitable technique to decompose them. Okay, any questions? So next point, so we will learn about air and water pollution and so on. Okay. So next phase will be taken by Professor Devprasad Sam, environment part. So next 2 days is preparatory class.
Next phase.
So Tuesday or Thursday?
Tuesday, but on Friday I do not have a class.
Thursday is a Friday class.
Wednesday, we do not have a class on Wednesday.
Yes, there is a class on Thursday. Okay, so there is no class on Tuesday and on Thursday. So please prepare very well. And after minor, Professor Sao will take part this environmental. Avira Singh, Kirti, Archie, Saloni, Naina, Aarti, Vinayak, Vikas,
Yes, sir.
Ritu,
Present, sir.
Sadhuraman, Mohit Kumar, Gupta,
Present, sir.
Arshit Rai,
Yes, sir.
Prashant,
Yes, sir.
David,
Yes, sir.
Ankit, Anushka,
Yes, sir.
Ayush,
Yes, sir.
Ranjan,
Yes, sir.
Ritik,
Yes, sir.
Aditya,
Yes, sir.
Keshav,
Yes, sir.
Divyanshu,
Yes, sir.
Narendra,
Yes, sir.
Puneet,
Yes, sir.
Sarvesh,
Yes, sir.
Rohit, Rohit, Sushant,
Yes, sir.
Sajid, Raghunath, Ashwat, Saurabh, Banwala,
Yes, sir.
Shivam, Arshit,
Yes, sir.
Ritika,
Yes, sir.
Kushbu,
Yes, sir.
Aniket,
Yes, sir. Sir.
Yashasvi,
Yes, sir.
Dipankar, Shivam, Shailesh, Raval, Rohit Mehta, Shivam, Jaya, Abdul,
मित्रांनी जीव नाही करणार